Hey everyone, welcome back to my next art book preview video. This week we have Master Sketchbooks, Legendary Artists of the entertainment industry reveal their secrets. So a quick look at the front and the back. You can see this one is a very thick book. It's difficult to even fit this one in shot. And this one is a hardback. And just quickly before we get into the book, let's take a look below the sleeve or the dust jacket. So this one just has a list of the artist names that are featured in this book. And then just a quick look at the back as well. Let's get into it. As shown on the front cover, we've got a list of names here. I recognise maybe about half of them, maybe just less than that. Feel free to pause the video and take a proper look through at those. I am just going to be skipping through this book a couple of pages at a time. There's over 300 pages, but hopefully we won't miss any artists. So we're starting with John Howe. John Howe is definitely one of my favourite artists, definitely one of my inspirations. I absolutely love his pencil work, but he's also a Lord of the Rings artist. So if we go back actually, I've got to feature this because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. So this looks like the concept art for the Mouth of Sauron design. I'll try not to pause too much on John's work because I will get distracted. But yeah, if you've seen the extended versions of the DVDs or Blu-rays, whatever you want to say, extended versions of the movies, the third movie features the character, the Mouth of Sauron. So that's one of the designs for it. Very cool. Throughout this, we're seeing other creature designs as well. All pencil sketches for John, I think. Including some Game of Thrones ones as well. I maybe have skipped past them already. Nope, I think it's this one. I think that's a Game of Thrones one, the Three-Eyed Raven. But yeah, John Howe and also Alan Lee are two really well-known pencil artists that worked on things like Lord of the Rings. So another example here of the Ents, the Treebeard and things like that. If you are a fan of this kind of stuff, I do have some other videos of John Howe's work, so I will put links in the description box below to A Middle-earth Traveller, that's another sketchbook, and then John Howe's Ultimate Fantasy Art Academy. So I'm going to try not to fanboy too much on John Howe's stuff, and let's move on to James Gurney next. Again, you'll probably recognise James Gurney if you're an artist, because he is very well known in the industry. He's well known for his book Dinotopia, or books, I'm not sure how many there are. So you'll probably recognise some of his dinosaur paintings. He is a traditional artist, his paintings are absolutely incredible. But most of all, if you're an artist, you will probably recognise his name from the light and colour books. I can't remember the exact title, but you guys will know the ones that I'm thinking of. And he also has one called Imaginative Realism, How to Paint Anything from Imagination. It's something like that. Again, I might be remembering the titles wrong, but I think you guys will know the ones that I mean. So this book only just arrived this morning. This is a brand new release, so I haven't exactly read through it yet, but just skimming through it before I started recording, I found this section, James Gurney's section, really interesting, seeing his old study notes. So for example, there was like an Alphonse Mucha study or an Art Nouveau study, and it was really interesting just seeing his notes on it and what he took away from it, because you don't see that very often. Okay, so next is Tony M. DiTerlizzi. I'm not sure how you pronounce the name at all, along with a couple of names in this book, in fact. So I do apologise to the artists throughout this book. Tony is not an artist I'm overly familiar with, but there is like an art of, I think it's like a role-playing game or something, maybe even like D&D or something like that. It comes up from time to time on eBay, and I've always been really interested in it. So it's kind of nice for me to finally own some of Tony's work. I've been after some for a while, but it's quite a rare book, is that one, so it's really difficult to come across at a decent price, so I don't think that's one that I will be able to ever sort of add to my collection. So there is a little section at the back that gives you a bit of background information on each artist. Again, I had a quick look before recording this, so moving on to the next one, Dave McKean. I don't know Dave's work, so I can't give too much information about each artist. Feel free to leave me some comments below, let me know a little bit about who's your favourite, let me know why. But what I was going to say is, in the bios at the back of the book, it did mention that a lot of these artists are quite well known for doing a lot of novel illustrations, book illustrations, a lot of them working in film industry, animation, all things like that, some really big companies in fact. So on to Vincent Di Fate. So you can see as well there is a range of styles. As mentioned, I'm familiar with a few of the artists, and it's really nice to own some of their work, as well as sort of seeing a creative insight into their sketchbooks. That's really the main point of this book. Unfortunately, the downside is if there's a style in here that you're not particularly big on, for me, I'd like about half of them, maybe a little bit more. Some of them I'm a little bit less bothered about. It's quite a large book, using up a lot of space if you're not too bothered about the artist, if you know what I mean. But I'm sure the insight is very good regardless. And here we're looking at David Colman. So again, I don't know a huge amount about David's work, but I do know he is on the Aaron Blaze website. So if you like drawing animals, this is definitely a highly recommended artist. And from his work I have seen, he's not only very good at this sort of realistic, painterly style, drawing, realism on animals, but also like Disney-esque drawing, designing these cartoony characters with like exaggerated features. So he's definitely a very talented artist, or a very skillful artist. This kind of looks like something from like an old Frazetta inking book. Next, on to Terryl Whitlatch. So a very well-known artist. If you're a Star Wars fan, especially a prequel Star Wars fan like me, so, movies 1 to 3, Terryl played a very large role in designing a lot of the creatures and aliens in those ones. So even, people like Jar Jar Binks, I believe, was her design. Don't quote me in case I am wrong, but I do have some of her sort of creature design and animal design books. She's got some really awesome work, some really cool books. In fact, she's got another book on flying creatures in the works right now. Definitely check out my other book videos on her work in the description box below. Next, we are on to Sandro Cleuzo. So I'm not familiar with this artist either. I know I'm saying that a lot. But I do think this sort of cartoony style is pretty cool. I always think the benefit of cartoony styles when they're exaggerated like this is there's quite a bit of range. Whereas when you're doing just realism, it's a little bit limited. So for me personally, I used to be really big on just like realistic stuff. And I wasn't really interested in cartoony stuff. But as time has gone on to Wayne Barlowe now. As time has gone on, I've kind of changed my mindset. I got quite bored with doing super realistic stuff. I just didn't find it interesting, to be honest. So now I'm much more into the sort of exaggerated things that are almost, I guess, more fun to draw. And this artist, it looks like we're seeing quite a lot of workflow steps for this. So I'm assuming that's what it is, their process into drawing or designing things. They're very sort of dark arts looking, these designs. Okay, so we are getting to the back end of the book now. There is another artist that features, I believe. I hope I've not missed any out. It is always difficult when you're skipping a couple of pages at a time. I will have shown some of the work of each artist, but whether I skip the title page like I just did for Darrell Warner, I could not comment on. Again, these are beautiful sketches, but I couldn't say until I'm at the editing stage whether these are a little bit light to show up on camera, because these ones are very faint sketches. I will try and up the contrast a little bit when I edit the video, but it's always tricky with the lighting. So again, it looks like Daniel's got a range of styles going from super realistic to almost like a Wallace and Gromit Aardman style, and even some pet portraits. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We're getting to the back end of the book now. I hope you found this video useful if you were thinking about buying the book. If you did find the video useful, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and means I can keep making more content like this. Thanks for watching, everyone.